Oh boy, welcome back. It's another episode of the Josh Potter Show. So glad you could be here. And guess where I'm going to be? I'm going to be in Chicago, July 13th. Please buy the tickets. Golly, thejoshpotter.com. I'd love to see you out there. We've got a bunch sold. I want to sell this one out. Perhaps we'll even add a second show. And then, boom, I'll be happy as a clam. And then I'm coming for a whole bunch of shows, 5 of them, to Janesville, Wisconsin. Comedy Cabin is what it's called, in Janesville, Wisconsin. And then we just added dates to Tacoma, Spokane, Oklahoma City. And then we got a whole bunch of other stuff up there. TheJoshPotter.com. Go there, check it all out. The fall is shaping up. Also, rate, review, subscribe, all that horse. Please do that because it helps a great deal. I love it. Thank you for doing it. And today we have a very special guest. I'm so excited he could be here. Oh my goodness. I've been circling paths so long.
It's true.
It's the Flesh Mechanic, folks. Star of stage and screen. Oh my goodness, you've seen this man make love to every woman that you could potentially want to. I mean, I'd assume it's just all your fantasy women out there that this man has made love to. You wouldn't you say?
Yeah, my list is pretty good.
You have a great list.
I do.
It's so funny, as a connoisseur, if you will. I've seen you pop up with, I'm like, oh, with this, it's like almost like you see a guy, you know, that you've done the road with for a while. You're like, oh, you're opening for him now? That's great. Look at that.
I think of it like when you see like almost like the featured extra in a movie and you see him in another movie.
Yes.
And you're like, hey, that's the guy from, and then you see him actually doing something on his own. You're like, holy shit, he made it.
It's like William Cromworth or whatever the hell that guy's name is. But yeah, it's there's only like, I mean, I guess I could probably name more male stars than the average bear out there probably. But so I'm like, I can go Small Hands,
Yep, legend.
Owen Gray,
Legend.
Seth Gamble,
Yep.
and you're like in that top 5 of them.
I'll take it. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm flattered.
You're like, hey, I know that penis. I know that penis anywhere.
His vein is throbbing a little bit more today.
No, that's not Small Hands. That is, you just know right away based on the vein map.
I love that. Love that.
Now, I think this is interesting, and I don't mean to go right out of the gate here in the
Go
nice
for
boy
it.
clock asking this, but you did mention this, and no names, I understand, but that women, like regular actresses, like celebrities, I guess,
Yeah.
DM you.
So they'll third party it.
I always imagine the other way, like male celebrities DMing women stars. I thought that happened.
Yeah, that's like every day. That's not even worth talking about. That's
Is that is it transactional or is it like hey, maybe we can date?
I don't think anyone's looking to date, even in 2025 in general. So I don't think it's usually coming out of the gate to date. I think it's understanding that the person will be professional, discreet, and safe.
Sure.
That's like the
hope.
person's tested. You know they only play with other tested people. You know they're not going to jump on a podcast and drop your name, right? Because they know it's going to hurt them. Just
Yes.
right, like. So yeah, it's pretty
Transactional.
Yeah, or a safe space. How about that?
Sure, that makes sense. No, it's like I just want to have some fun. I can't necessarily do that with a rogue person out there because of my profile being high.
Of course.
So that makes complete sense.
Yeah, if neither person has anything to gain, it's like a safe.
But even with women, then that's the case too. They just want that extra thing then.
From my experience personally, it's been, again, like you said, no names, but I've had some very established female actresses reach out through somebody else to give me like a signal number to prove it's them. And then yeah. So it's like they're
signal. We're talking like this is what the Defense Department's using to.
Well, I mean, you got to think too, right? Like as much as they assume they can trust me, there's also careers on the line.
Of course.
Right? Because like, if little so-and-so from whatever TV show is like,
exactly.
Spending
I won't
time
even
with.
pretend and say a name just because I don't want anyone to think I got any like behind the scenes like any sort of this or that. But I'd imagine, they don't want their reputation to be that.
Of course.
They're out there getting boned down by getting their gears turned by the Flesh Mechanic.
From my experience, it is the want of good sex.
Sure.
Good sex with somebody they know is tested. That's like Because, they could go on Tinder, they could work with whatever, anybody. And
right. And then they got people also screen grabbing, and it's just a little more too public, I'd imagine. Interesting.
And they know I couldn't care less, so it's perfect. Not in a rude way, but it's like, I'm not going to try.
Has there ever been one, though, that you go maybe I can parlay this into I'd love to date this woman, or anything like that? That would be the problem with me. If I had what you were working with and God called upon me to be...
God...
be in the same industry.
I think it's the other guy that's calling more shots around here.
That's not the work of the devil. I'm the work of the devil. The devil made this. That's a piece of art. God made that, and he said, you got to go pleasure these ladies. But I would get feelings. I would catch feelings. And I know that's it's gay of me to say or whatever, but I would probably catch feelings. Not necessarily at work. I'm saying with the people outside the industry who are even maybe doing that. But you're a pro.
But what would make you catch feelings? Would it be the sensation? Would it be how attractive the person is, or
a little bit of all of it? It's also I'm attracted to talent.
Oh, so interesting.
It's if I dated an actress who I just had immense respect for and their work and everything, and I thought that was attractive, that might have something to do with it. Even I've dated a couple of women in your industry, and again, I don't care that they're going to. I could tell the difference. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it's the attraction to the talent. I'm I like what they're doing at work here.
Yeah, that's a phrase of mine is there's nothing more attractive than talent.
Yes.
You could be anything, anywhere, but if you're really good at something, that's just a level of human.
Yes, and it's often, people always, there's different schools of thought about comics dating other comics, and I've always not shied away from it, but I've always wanted to, because it's a person who gets what I do. Why wouldn't I want to do that? Especially if I respect it to a degree of wow, they're really good at the same thing that I'm doing. That's attractive to me.
You must feel there's pros and cons to that as well, though, right?
Obviously,
sometimes it's I don't want you to know how bad I f***ed up, or I don't want you to know how...
That's not necessarily true, because here's the thing, they know better than the average girl.
True.
I could have a regular girl watch just some set up in the original room or something like that goes meh, to the point where I go I know the way the crowd was for everybody. Maybe I was batting a little better than the rest of the comics, but it still wasn't Madison Square Garden. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wasn't bringing the house down or changing the game. I've had it where girls are oh, next time it'll be better. It's that was fine. You don't just shut up.
That's
you don't know what the
It's kind of the point. The point I'm making is sometimes wouldn't it be nice to have the person just be that was great?
No. That's my point, because they'll be oh, you'll get him next time. It's no. I did get him. Shut up. You don't get to comment on. But if it's somebody that gets this, do you know what I mean? They understand when to talk to you about it, when not to talk to you about it. They know what's going on. They know it doesn't matter. Okay. That kind of thing.
Fair.
So that's actually more of a benefit. That they understand what's happening.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. It was like that for me as an actor as well, because it was you share the struggles I share, so I don't need to vent. I don't need to explain myself to you for anything I'm going through.
Or if you are venting, they offer a proper response, which could just be listening.
Yeah.
As opposed to just shooting something in the dark, oh no, I think you know what you got to do, and you're you don't know what you got to do. You have no idea. What I've gone through. I like how it's
the jump to anger. I mean,
it's not anger.
Shut up.
It's not even. It is kind of. But I mean, no, because it's there's something that it's all of me, and I want them to enjoy it and everything like that. But then there's some that are you date them from the standpoint of they were a fan before they were.
Yeah, that's tough.
So it makes it a little just difficult, and sometimes this job looks like it is fun, which it is, but it's oh, you're always out at a bar, you're always out at a club, that kind of thing, and they want, well, why can't I come out? It's well, I'm kind of at work too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
you got to be on.
Yeah, or not even on, but just you have to be kind of cognizant that you are in the workplace to a degree.
Yeah, I always think of it as if I go to a convention and someone wants to join me. my thought is like, well, no, because I might have to go talk to them and I might have to then do a photo there. And so it's like, I can't really have
you can't babysit.
Yeah, I can't have like sidekick with me at the time because I'm just going to be like ping pong ball.
I broke up with a girl because New Year's Eve I was opening for, it was like me as the host and then James Davis and Dan Soder. And we were doing like the club on New Year's, and my girlfriend at the time was like, gonna come, and she's like, I'm feeling sick, and I'm like, perfect, just stay home. Perfect. I know it's New Year's Eve. We'll celebrate New Year's Eve tomorrow. Like, it's that's fine, because like I'm not gonna be able to kiss you at midnight. I'm not gonna be around you.
Yeah,
you're gonna be out in the crowd the whole time. Like, it's too crowded of a green room already. Yeah. Like, you're not. And I'm the MC, so if I was headlining, that's different. But I'm the host. I can't have my girlfriend in the fucking green room. So it's like, there's all those things, and you don't want to worry about her exactly. So she's like, I'm still coming. I'm like, fine. I'm telling you, it's better to stay home. Yeah. She still came, and then she was complaining and bitching and moaning the whole time. And I was like, listen, this is like my job. Like, I already told you that what was going to happen. I'm not like trying to be rude about it, but I told you the deal. And now you're like upset. Like, I was like, well, you're not going to be able to come to shows if you're going to like outwardly make a scene like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, where other people are like, oh, what's going on over here?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's like, you're fucking up my shit here.
Yeah, totally. People here need to think I'm a good person.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, the other thing would be, I get it, you have to be professional and keep the secret going and everything like that. But boy, oh boy, there would probably be some where I would be like, I got to tell someone. You know, you text your mom or something. I don't Mom, guess who I just had sex with for work?
Hey, Mom, you know that show you watch? So-and-so? Guess what she's into?
Mom, remember Netflix? Okay. Oh, boy, folks. Guess what? Today's Josh Potter Show is brought to us by Home Chef. Oh, the temperatures are rising. You want to get outside. You don't want to be stuck in your hot kitchen doing meals for your ungrateful family or just for yourself. I mean, I'm ungrateful towards myself in that situation. I'm like, oh, what are we doing so we can eat? This is terrible. Get me outside. I don't want to put any effort into this. I don't want to be trapped over a hot stove. You can break the monotony now and free up your time with Home Chef. It's easy to follow meal kits. You got fresh, exciting recipes, and they're delivered straight to your door. You don't even have to think about it. Go get it. Worry about where it's at. It's coming right to your doorstep. Now you can enjoy all that summer has to offer. Users of leading meal kits have rated Home Chef #1 in quality, convenience, value, taste, and recipe ease. That's all the categories as far as I know. Can't imagine another category out there that they're not #1 in. And for a limited time, Home Chef is offering all the roaches out there 18 free meals. Plus, you're going to get free dessert for life and, of course, free shipping on the first box. Just go to homechef.com/Potter. That's homechef.com/Potter. And you're going to get 18 free meals and you're going to get that free dessert for life. It's homechef.com/Potter. Must be an active subscriber to receive the free dessert. Oh boy, but I'm so happy that you're here. I know you used to play hockey.
I did.
So you're a big sports guy. I mean, you're from Canada. So,
I am from Canada, yeah.
So hockey's huge there. I'm from Buffalo, so obviously like hockey's like this. Other than the Bills, it's hockey. Yeah. It's pretty much, I would say in America, maybe the biggest hockey city where like kids play it, and it's like a big.
I'd say Michigan's up there for sure.
Those colleges are huge too.
Yeah. That's you can't. We don't even have that. That's what I don't think a lot of those American high school kids don't understand is Canada doesn't even have that.
Well, yeah, because you go to juniors.
Yeah, those high school teams where like the high school of the local town is like everyone goes to the game, and it's like. The championships are fucking we don't have that at all.
It's like the South with football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
but like
100%.
But because here's the thing, a lot of the kids that are in college here playing, I think already have like juniors deals, right? Or do they forego that? How does that work? Because I know with baseball in college, it's like that.
I believe it's different in Canada and the U.S., so there's different programs. Like the U.S. has like, I think it's a U16, but basically like if you're really good young American player, you go to like play for America, basically. Like it's like you jump right into like their program, which is like the entire country.
Well, it's like a nuclear arms race. We're trying to keep up with Canada. We're trying to beat your ass. I mean, that world all-star thing was awesome.
I was there.
You went to it?
I was there. The game where there was 3 fights in the first 12 seconds. I was there sitting in the 100s.
Oh my God.
Dude, I brought a girl who's never been to a hockey game in her entire life.
What a game.
And that's the game she saw. She doesn't know who's who. She doesn't know what's going on. Puck drops, there's a fight.
Hockey's ruined.
So we're
for her.
Screaming, right? Like the whole place is bonkers. We're losing our minds, right? And I can't even really explain to her why this is such a big. She goes, "It's hockey. There's fighting." She's like, "I've been to you fight all the time." I'm like, "You don't understand."
Yeah.
Like this is the best players in the world fighting for no reason. And then so the puck drops again. There's another fight. And now it's like, I've already lost my voice. We're literally 2 seconds into the game.
The second fight was, what, 9 seconds in?
No, that was the third.
Oh, that was
2 of them were instant.
Right.
Puck drop, fight. And then the game starts. It goes into, I think it was Canada's end. The goalie covers it, and there's another fight. So now I'm like basically grabbing people by the neck, throwing people. Like, I'm just like, I'm losing my mind. And she's like, "Why? What?" She's like, "This is just hockey." And I was like, "Shut up."
That's so funny to be like, "This is just, isn't this how it always goes?"
Yeah, she literally thought, she's like, "I thought this was normal for hockey." And I'm like, "This would be," and I was trying to like put it in terms she would understand. And I'm like, "This would be like if you're at the White House and everyone starts fighting." Like, this is so not what was supposed to happen here. Like,
that's wild. I mean, obviously the Stanley Cup final is a different situation.
Yeah.
And there's like a couple games in that one where they had multiple fights, like bench clearing things. There was a couple line fights here and there, but you're like, well, this is the finals.
Yeah.
That game was literally just supposed to be like, it's USA Canada, a little LOL.
It was an exhibition.
Exhibition, like all-star game, kind of.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're going to fuck each other up.
Yeah. And it was, I think it was about, they had kind of, the rumor was that it was about the Canadian crowd booing the American national anthem in the first game.
Well, because, so a little geopolitical history for you folks. Trump was all yapping about Canada being the 51st state.
Correct.
At that time.
Yes.
So then this game happens. They do one game in Canada, and they go, "Oh, sick." And people are like, "Boo!" The whole Canadian crowd boos it. So then there's little chirps back and forth amongst the team, I think. I don't know that they care about the anthem. Maybe they do.
They do,
I don't know,
for sure. Yeah.
But so I thought that's interesting. Buffalo, by the way, the only city in North America where no matter what the two teams are, they could both be American playing. They play both anthems, no matter what.
Wait, what? Sorry?
They play both the Canadian and national anthem before every single game in
Buffalo.
In Buffalo, yeah.
Oh, weird! I did not know that.
Every single time, and I don't know why. I think it's like a nod to the sport. But it's the only one they do it every single game. And people try in the comments, I've said this before, and people try in the comments no, that's not true. I'm telling you, when it's 2 American teams even playing.
Yeah, that's weird. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think it's cool because I grew up, knowing it and loving it. But yeah, no, so then obviously the fights happen. I didn't know if it was, I knew there was like boiling tensions because of that.
Apparently there was, again, I have some friends that are a little more intimately involved, so I got a little bit of insider info, and also stuff went to the news and stuff like that.
Right.
But I guess the American players had a group chat, and they're like, next game we're fucking going nuts. So yeah, I guess they basically pre-planned
the Kachuk brothers were like, we're both going to get in a fight.
Yeah.
And I forget who the third fellow was.
I don't remember either, but I remember screaming to the point of like blood vessels popping in my head.
This is like mid-season. These guys are, Matthew Kachuk just won the Stanley Cup. Say he got like hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Who was it? One of the players got a very serious injury.
Someone because then Tage Thompson got called up.
Not Cale Makar, was it?
I don't know. It was a forward, I thought, because then they brought in Tage Thompson for like the final game.
Yeah, I think it was one of the American players. Like season was ended in that tournament.
I can't remember who it was, but
I remember also being like, this is insane that these guys are going this hard for, because
it was as if it was Game 7 of the Stanley Cup.
Think
finals.
about the difference from you must watch the All-Star games.
Yeah, no, they don't even try.
The All-Star games is like a joke.
Exactly,
like literally, like they're laughing and joking around, and then it's like all of a sudden they put the countries on, and it's like World
they're barely
War III.
skating in they're like they let a guy do a Michigan thing.
Like, literally they're like goofing off, and then this was war. That was, in my opinion, the best hockey I had ever watched for the game and for the atmosphere and obviously for the fighting as well.
And it coincided with the NBA All-Star game, which is a goof fest too. So it was
really?
so it just kind of like put it on its heels a little bit. It changed the All-Star format for sure.
I would love to see the All-Star game abolished in the NHL and just have...
That's what's going to happen. I mean, there's no way they go back. Because they used to do like America versus the world or whatever. I remember that.
Yeah,
it wasn't even
North America versus
Europe, like Europe.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
the world. They called it the world.
Yeah. Which is funny.
Yeah.
I would love to see Russia involved.
Me too.
As much as they've had.
Bring them in.
Yeah, I think so. I think
because the Russian players in the NHL aren't doping. What is it? Because they abolished the Russian team for the Worlds because maybe they are. But I'm saying they let them.
No comment.
They're letting them play for the Washington Capitals. You know what I mean? Why can't they play for like some little gathering of their team when it's like sanctioned like that?
I don't know the detail. I have watched Icarus. So have you seen that?
No, I have not.
Okay.
But I did.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
God,
about
you
the
have
doping.
to watch,
Yeah.
dude. That was like I remember watching that and like getting up out of my seat.
Did it
when,
make
like,
you want to do?
It was insane.
Dope?
Oh yeah. Definitely made me want to take steroids.
Yeah. I'll do it someday. I'm going to get to a certain age.
I'm just too scared of my balls being affected.
Well, yeah, you got to take care of your fucking balls, pal. You can't. I mean, not me. I can throw them out in the garbage. That doesn't make a difference.
Speaking of your balls,
yeah,
I first discovered you during a Make Josh Come festival.
Oh, that's right. There wasn't a festival.
There was a festival. My friends were like, "We need to get involved." So,
well, it was a quote unquote. Not a contest. I don't really. They said it was a festival. That's a good, some sort of celebration, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a fun year of my life. I'll tell you that.
So where are we now in that?
Oh, we're back to square one. We found out it's intimacy. It's not exactly as fun as it was all.
Like you're disgusted.
No, I'm not.
Intimacy.
I'm happy that I've kind of gotten to like sort of the bottom of it, but it also makes it so it's like it's not just some like, well, I found out if you tickle my balls this way that I'll come everywhere. You know what I mean? I wish it was that simple, but it's unfortunately like as each one night stand happened, I kind of learned I'm like, well, this is empty and not helping the situation.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like that, but I mean,
but I gotta
maybe
ask.
that helps me. In the terms of your industry, like, because because it just is like going and going. It doesn't have the
I'm a guy that
finish line.
shoots quick. You get 12, 15 minutes out of me in a scene, and my balls are ready to start firing for sure.
But you have control over it
of course,
now.
but my want is there. So like I've done videos that were like, we did a challenge with two of my friends. And we did it's like the first so usually if I'm shooting like full, I'll shoot like 4 scenes a day if I'm like really going at it. But my friends would be like, hey, it's got to be your first load of the day.
Okay.
And then we're going to see how fast we can make you come with head.
Is it because the first load is more bountiful? Like more viscous, what's the word? The viscosity. It's
I would
thicker.
say it's more true.
Okay.
It's more true. So your second load, you can get away with more. You can get away with positions that are usually more sensitive for you. You can get away with a girl that's really good at giving head. You can kind of survive a little bit longer.
Right.
But your first load of the day is like, that's the one you really got to like watch out because like, you could lose it fast. But yeah, so I've done scenes where like, well, I shouldn't say scenes, but clips that were like 36-second blowjobs where like I can start to finish like come. So
that's great that if you can just like clock it.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're like, I can go quick. I can go take a little longer.
Yeah, I dated a girl before I was in the industry, and she obviously had no idea I had this skill, so I used it to my advantage. And she was getting ready for work, and I was living in her apartment at the time, like a fucking loser actor. And she was like getting ready, and she's like, I gotta go. And then she came over to give me a kiss, and then I like, kissed her a little bit more. And I was like, you want to just like play around a little bit? She's like, I got 4 minutes. She's like, if you can play. So we chatted a little bit. I was like, how about this? Okay. I was like, you'll blow me, but you got to do the thing I like.
Yeah.
If I come in less than a minute, dinner's on you tonight. And if it takes longer than that, dinner's on me. And she was like, fucking deal.
God, and you bargained it so she's rooting for the quicker one? Golly.
Well, I wanted her to put her back into it.
No, that's the best.
So, yeah, so she succeeded. And we got sushi, and it was on her. So
let's go.
Came in 45 seconds. So
God, I love athletics.
Hey, you said you like people with skills.
That's true. I do. I mean, hey, that's something. That's like top of the game, baby. It's like you're playing in the fucking USA versus Canada over here. Let's get to some other sports things, shall we? Beep 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Here in America, we have a sport called baseball. I don't know if you ever heard of that. And many moons ago, it was kind of one of the pillars of the beginning of this program. Tom Brenneman accidentally on a hot mic used an anti-gay slur, and it became a meme and everything from talking about it on this show to the point where, come full circle, eventually Tom Brenneman gave me his first interview back speaking publicly again. After he was like, I don't know if I'll ever put this mic on again. He...
I've seen that.
Yes. So people, anytime something like this happens, it's breaking news here on the program. And recently, just this past weekend, I'll tell you, my email box has this over. My manager texted me this last night, and I go, dude, you don't think 1,000 people sent me this already? Like, it was so funny. I was like, dude, this is like the most obvious thing someone's going to send in, but I appreciate all the Roach reporters out there sending it in, making sure that I got it. DMs, emails. I mean, I can't even give credit to any particular person because it was literally everybody who's ever listened to the show, I think, sent this one in. The Cardinals were playing, and they were doing Disability Night, which I didn't know we were using the word disability still. Disability visibility. What is it called? I can't believe I just said that. That's like a tongue twister. Yeah. Disability visibility.
Is the word disability bad?
Well, I don't think so. As a disabled, they put me in that category because of missing one eye, which I get around just fine just because I can't see out of one eye. I'm handicapped now, but hey, I guess so. But
take the check.
I wish there were checks. There's no checks, not for blind ones at least. I have a whole thing about it. I'm a little. I'm some of these handicap things I get a little upset about. I'm like, hey, equal opportunity or something like that. But anyhow, they called it, they had hats and everything they were talking about the hats. And this is St. Louis Cardinals broadcaster Chip Carrey. I felt like this was on the PA, though. It was in the stadium, but we'll watch it and see here. The offending term came in the top of the fourth inning against the Reds, which is ironic because that's where Tom Brenneman was making his little speech there. And he was reading a promo for the Cardinals' Disability Pride Night. Now, Disability Pride is something wild. I mean, we're proud of it now. I'm like, I'm going to wear my disability. I'm not like saying we shouldn't be happy that we are alive or whatever else, but pride? That's weird, right?
I would say so, yeah. I think
I'm proud of my blind eye. I'm so fucking proud that I can't see out of this eye and I run into stuff and girls don't see me as a protector or provider. Oh, my God. So proud. So he appears to immediately realize what he had done after about 30 seconds. Let's watch. Or there was like a third. So this is what it felt like to me. I thought I was watching them play the like PA announcer over the broadcast. The guy that's like, next up for the St. Louis Cardinals, first baseman Paul Goldschmidt. That was last year's first baseman. But anyhow, you know what I mean, right? I thought they were announcing it to the crowd and they just had the audio and then the announcers were sitting there in silence. But let's watch. Apparently it wasn't that way.
Disability Pride Night is Thursday, July 10th, and with the theme ticket, fans take home a Cardinals cap featuring the Disability Pride flag and Cardinals in Braille. Details at cardinals.com/theme.
So poor Chip here. After, he says that, he goes, Pride flag. He got through the rest of the thing, but now he's sitting there and he's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Because here, watch now, let's listen to the silence for 30 seconds.
You can just hear him.
Just the sounds of the game.
You can hear him packing up his stuff.
Yeah. You hear the ball in the mid. Now pause it. Meanwhile, back behind the scenes, he's got the mute mic on. He goes, did I just fucking do that? Oh my God. I'm such a fucking, my fucking wife's going to fucking divorce me. He thinks he's fired. He's like, thinks he's Tom Brenneman now. He's like, holy shit, am I fired? He's looking around the room like, am I fired?
But that's way different than a hot mic.
Yes, it's a misspoken thing.
Yeah, that's way
Whereas
different.
Tom Brenneman was like, capital of the world, am I right?
Yeah.
Anyhow, we're back here on,
I don't even think this should be in the same category.
Right, it's not. And they came out and they said, it was we are not penalizing or punishing Chip Carey for making this mistake. It was an honest mistake. Whereas, yes, you're right. Like, Tom Brennan was doing a little LOL. He's since, like, he's mortified by him. So imagine you're making a joke to your pal and then...
that's rough.
And you know what I mean? He doesn't have a hateful... That's why I had him on the program and we discussed it. But, he's, obviously very apologetic and remorseful and done penance beyond belief for saying a little LOL to his buddy.
And then you caught him with a hot mic as you're going through the...
That'd be hilarious. On the Zoom, he's like, so we're off the air? Kansas City really is capital of the world, right? That would have been awesome. No, Tom Brennan
tell me I'm lying.
He's a fucking legend. But anyhow, I think it's so funny how much... Now, if I'm the guy in the room with him, I would try and rebound it. I'd be like, Sonny Gray up with the first pitch of the inning. I don't know, something. But meanwhile, like I said, if he's in there screaming like, holy shit, was it really bad? I said, guys. If that's happening in the room, you can't do anything. The room's got to be silent. You got to deaden it. All right, Chip, collect yourself. Here, let's see. Watch see if he starts talking again anytime soon.
Lead that one.
He's in hear his voice. Yeah. He was definitely like, He wouldn't come on. I thought he was going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. 0-2 the count here. As Gray and his 45th pitch of the game today.
It's just him sobbing.
It says here, he's just like, Sonny Gray with the 0-2 pitch.
That pisses me off. That shouldn't even be a fucking article.
Well, it just is because people are like the road reporters out there like, LOL, he said, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but I think in a silly gotcha, you fucked up way.
No, that's the thing.
But the way that they're doing this article, like he fucking,
And look at, they have this this sullen photo
of course,
him.
make him look like he fucking just shut up a school. Like,
yeah, this looks like he just like...
The guy made a fucking mistake. Like,
is this the photo of a priest after he was... You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like...
It looks like he's doing a perp walk.
And he was caught with immense amounts of child... You know what I mean? Like, that's what... Boy, oh boy, but the poor guy, he's the son of broadcaster Skip Carrey, obviously, and grandson of Hall of Fame broadcaster Harry Carey. I didn't know that. Whoa. Harry Carey. Carey said a few times. Probably in the games. No one bothered him,
You're dropping it liberally.
Well, we're talking about the story.
You might have to come out as gay just to protect yourself.
We're talking about the story.
There's going to be a lot of bleeps.
We're talking about the story here. I'm putting it in context of the story.
Next article, scroll
It's
down.
not like,
Josh Potter says.
Yeah, the next article that I go to, we just changed. I go, well, we'll get off that story and talk about something else. And I just say it again for the next.
Yeah.
But, we had, can you see, I don't know if you can find this in the fly like this, and we talked about this one. There's the guy at the Oakland A's who drops the N-bomb. And that one is like, I still can't wrap my brain around that. Because this one, he's trying to say flag, and he just happened to say that word I guess I shouldn't say anymore. But...
was it an accident?
That's what I don't... It's a real tough accident. And I want to see if you could pull it up. His name is Gary Kuiper.
Yeah, Glenn
Kuiper, excuse me, yeah.
I found it.
He's talking about the Negro League Museum, and that's what they call the museum.
Is that a real thing?
Which already, yes, it's in baseball. They have the Negro League Museum, because that's evidently what... And they even have, in the baseball game, Negro League mode you can play. Which I think is wild.
Americans are wild.
But it's not us Americans. It's baseball.
Okay.
But I want to... It's the second video there.
Oakland A's fans have heard Glenn Kuiper calling games for the last 2 decades.
Oh, they're never going to say it on here.
Yeah.
The raw video is something that is insane. I'm not talking tales out of school when I say instead of calling it, they were out there in... Where the fuck is in Kansas City? Oh my God, it was also in Kansas City. They're out there in Kansas City, and he goes, we had a hell of a day. We had barbecue at blah, blah, blah. He names a restaurant. And then the next thing...
We had a phenomenal day today. League Museum and Arthur Bryant's barbecue.
He's at the barbecue after.
Jesus Christ.
Isn't that crazy?
That's not a mistake.
And that was on the air. But here's the thing. How do you if it's not a mistake, how do you throw that one out there? Isn't that crazy?
Holy fuck.
Wow.
That blew Lee's mind. He's never seen that before.
That's insane.
And the guy next to him, I know the guy next to him. He used to play for the He used to play for the A's. He used to be a pitcher for the A's. He threw like a perfect game for them back in the 2000s.
So perfect for hearing what he just heard.
But that's the thing.
Buck.
He's a pro because he doesn't go like he doesn't even realize because again it's called the Negro League Museum. So you
that's
think like
actually what it's called. So that's not
Yes.
even like bad to say.
Negro League Museum is not bad to say because that's the name of the museum.
feels
It's on
like
the
it is.
sign. I know.
I'm not going to drop that.
I know. Trust me. I have a hard time. I've got because when we
you
had,
don't have a hard time.
I do. I promise you. I've been, but I'm trained. I'm trained now
PR trained.
because we've talked. This clip was huge when it came out for our show, and I even said, I can't believe this is the problem with calling it that, you know. But that's the name of it. So he says we went to he's supposed to say Negro League Museum. So he says that.
I feel like even saying that would be like, ooh.
I know. I would be
But
like,
also-
we went to the museum today. You know the one I'm talking about? Jackie Robinson's there? The Jackie Robinson Museum? But that's what it's called. And I don't know why they call it that, but they still continue to call it that. And again, go get MLB The Show for EA Sports. And they have... You want to play on Negro League mode? Now you got me nervous to say it. I'm never going to say that word. I'll tell you that. Play it again. I mean, we're going to have to be... Now, again, this is something else. This is another thing that happened behind the scenes out there, folks. So we had that episode. I was working with a different production company at the time. We played this clip, and I say to them, I want the shock of the guest to don't beep the clip. I want the guest to hear the word and to react to it naturally. It was Annie on the show. And I said, but obviously... beep it before you put it out.
Yeah.
They did not. I for whatever reason I never watched the show, and I really enjoyed that segment, so I went back to look at it, and I was just like trying to see if there was like what the jokes were, and I noticed they don't beep it. I wanted to fire everybody. I was losing my. I'm like, take it. I had to take it down, put it back up again. So make sure we beep it. Is all I'm saying.
Yes, please.
I trust Bobby.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
Bobby's
just
on top of
write
this
that down in the log is all I'm getting at. All right, go ahead. Let's watch it again. Watch Braden's reaction.
We had a phenomenal day today.
Sure did.
League Museum and Arthur Bryant's barbecue.
He doesn't even realize he says it.
I don't even think he realized it wasn't something he should have said.
That's the thing.
That felt so normal
Isn't
to
it
him.
put your brain in a pretzel because you're like, what?
I just think that's who he is.
And I've never heard him come out.
He doesn't
and
care.
say the reason.
He's probably like,
got to care. He's lost.
probably like, I don't even know why they fired me.
I mean, ain't that what it's called?
Yeah, he's still like confused.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's wild.
Wild, right? That clip always hits though. It's something else. I mean, you just watch a guy's melt his career down into molten lava.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is on a broadcast. What do you mean it's on YouTube? This guy did this on broadcast television.
I know, but I'm surprised YouTube is letting this stay up.
It's part of history.
This video
in
should
the
be up in the museum.
Yeah.
They're gonna put they're gonna hang it up in there. It's at the Negro League Museum. See, I'm doing it to test my might. I've never slipped up in that way. Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
that's not a slip up. But the fact that the first guy gets a whole article is not fair.
Right.
This guy should have a novel written about what he just did.
there were novels.
This guy is like,
No, Chip made see, and it even says in the top of the article.
Yeah.
I think that's how they get in front of it, though. I don't mind there being an article as long as it's painted this way, in that it
but
is
the
an
fact that
honest
we live
mistake.
in a world where like you have to, get ahead of something that's just an honest mistake is
everything. But here's where you and I are in a sort of businesses where articles like this would never get written about us because it's like, look at what we do. I
Yeah.
say wild shit all the time. It's like, if I say it in malice, obviously it's a different story.
Yeah.
But nobody's like, I mean, I talked about wanting my neighbor's child the other. It's LOLs, folks. He's a noisy brat. Anyhow, there's another baseball story from a gentleman named Mob Squad. He sent this in. He plays actually MLB The Show with
It's
me.
a nice mustache.
Yes, it is. This guy you'll love. He's a pitcher for the San Francisco Giants. Now, this is what's crazy. This man, evidently, according to his wife, his name is Sean Jelly. He's a relief pitcher for the Giants. His wife, Caroline Jelly, goes on to TikTok. And I don't know, I think it's been deleted. Maybe somebody preserved it. I don't know if you were able to find it in your searches, Larry Lee, but his wife goes on to TikTok with her children and outs him for being like having infidelity and like being verbally abusive, like on TikTok. Isn't that wild? Like, so now the team has to make a statement about the man's infidelity as if that's a crime. I'm not justifying it or saying it's a good thing that's occurred, but for the team to have to make a statement about your personal life, that's
so embarrassing.
Embarrassing indeed. So evidently, she was saying oh, no, I'm sorry. The San Francisco Giants said they were in contact with Major League Baseball and won't be commenting further. So it's like, what is Major League Baseball going to say? Now are they going to police this man's personal life? I mean...
delete your Tinder right now.
Yeah, they're like, let's see. Is that Snapchat on your phone? So June 21st, Sean's wife, Caroline, accused him of multiple affairs, abuse, and abandonment in a TikTok post that has now gone viral. The video has 3.2 million views as of this publishing and was posted approximately 3 p.m. on Friday. It shows Caroline with the couple's 2 sons with overlaid text saying, "When my MLB husband abandons us on Mother's Day, a week after this, once I finally found out about his affairs and stopped putting up with his abuse. So I've been raising my 2 sons alone." So she puts them on TikTok with her. This is crazy. This is like, that's
abuse right there.
Exactly.
Your dad's a deadbeat and you're going to forever be linked to it.
Well, not only that, your mother's just outing the family's dirty laundry and using you as like sympathy bait on social media. Crazy. Also, she put Lord's Man of the Year over the video.
Time out. Go back to your search. Go back.
Wife TikTok.
No, go back. Where it was on the right side. Okay,
what did you
click
find?
in the search bar, top right.
Hi.
What's that?
Look at what they are.
I can't tell what they are. What do they say?
It says Kanye's latest hit.
Oh, okay.
It says impaled on fence, Coliseum fence.
This is what we do on the show.
Impaled on Rome Coliseum fence.
Yeah, these are just previous episodes. We're looking for videos.
That feels like to me like when I die, like smash my laptop type stuff. Like,
This is on the work computer.
Yeah. No, this is what they'll find on my phone, this, and a bunch of your videos. You know what I mean? So like,
there's going to be an article about this.
yeah. But you know what this whole thing with his wife reminded me of? When my mother found out about my father's infidelity, there was no such thing as TikTok back when I was in 7th grade, but she found me and my sister. We were at our friend's house, and she put us in the car, told us what happened, and then made us go with her to confront him about it. And now I look back, I go, that's fucked up. Right?
Yeah.
This is more fucked up, though. There it is right there. We can't play the audio because it's got Lord's Man of the Year playing over. When you're like selecting a tune to put on a tune, she's smiling. So they used an old picture, I'd imagine, just a picture of her with the children while she put the text. I read the text already there. It's unclear if or when the couple officially ended their marriage, but Jelly took to TikTok's account features multiple posts alluding to her experiencing hardships as a solo parent dating back to October 18th, 2024. So she's been on TikTok for like over a year now, posting things. She posted a video for the viral 17 diapers TikTok trend. Don't know what that means. It's at them
17
changing
diapers?
the same. Apparently, there's a TikTok trend called 17 diapers. I'm not on TikTok very often, so I don't know the trends, especially of mom TikTok. Not someplace I spend much of my time.
I mean, me neither.
In one such post on April 8th, Jelly posted a video with the hashtag divorce, saying she was devastated after finding out all the lies, although it's unclear if it's in reference to accusations against the Giants pitcher. The post comes amid a rough 24-hour for Sean Jelly. Yeah, I'd say this poor guy has to go out there and like be a relief pitcher now. Oh my God, he was, and it says here, they bring it up, they're like, he was charged with the loss in Friday night's 7-5 defeat to the Red Sox, where he struggled in just one inning of work, giving up the go-ahead run in the 7th to Cedane Rafaela. The Giants host the Red Sox in Game 2 of their weekend series Saturday, 1:05 p.m. on NBC Sports Bay Area. Boy, oh boy. But this lady should be put in jail.
To expect a man with a mustache to be loyal to you is just ridiculous, first of all.
Yeah, he looks like a badass. I thought he was one. You know, the San Francisco Giants have multiple like sidearm pitchers in their bullpen, and their bullpen has been
That's where they,
fantastic
like,
this
throw,
season.
like,
the
down,
submarine pitches.
Oh, yeah. I think it's,
And I
don't
play
really know
against them in the
baseball, but I
video
have
game,
seen
and it
that.
makes me lose my fucking mind. I hate a submarine. I see them come in. I go, oh, now we got to see this submarine guy come in here.
So the ball can lift. That's the difference, right?
Yeah, for the most part. It has weird spin on it, too. Plus, you just like can't really... The timing of it's different because they're whipping it around this way. So you're like, I don't even know where this is coming from or where it's going.
Because that's the same.
For
They
me,
say like the
personally.
windmill pitch, right?
Yes.
Is actually statistically more difficult to hit
Yes.
than an overhand.
Yes,
'Cause
you're
an
very-
overhand
that's
can't
exactly right.
Yeah.
And that's why, I mean, you can't keep that up for too long. In a game, you can only do about a dozen or so, probably. Maybe like some of them can do 20 pitches, but like
'Cause it's
you
bad for
can't
the
have a
arm?
bulk load. Yeah. And eventually, some of them, even after a little while of pitching that way, they have to eventually like adjust if they're doing a long stint out there and
Really?
start throwing it normal. Yeah.
Interesting.
But he's not one of the submarine guys, but he's definitely got a sick mustache. And yeah, if you're dating a professional athlete and he's on the road constantly and you're kind of obviously you're a mental case the way this lady's posting on TikTok so often. She's like, he's going to get a little crazy. He's going to be a little down.
To me, that comes across as like my husband gets all the attention and I need some too. Don't get me wrong. This
Exactly.
guy could very well be a huge piece of shit. But,
Sure.
But
Here's where I put the it's kind of like you were saying with that last situation with the man accidentally saying something versus saying something heinous on purpose or even in a way where you think it's in a secret. Is this guy, by terms of pieces of shit, yeah, it's not cool to cheat on your wife, but like it's also not a crime.
Yeah,
You know what
it's
I
not
mean?
like he's on the Epstein list.
Do we need his employer or the league that employs him to get involved inside of his personal life? It's like
I agree.
It's a little wild to me that became an issue, but that's maybe that's a thing with TikTok at the end of the day.
I mean, the way you get views on TikTok is to make people gasp, like anywhere, I guess, really. You know, they say good news doesn't sell. But I've noticed that there's been a huge trend of that. Did you see the one of the girl talking about getting farted on?
No.
I didn't watch it. I just saw the caption. It
We
said,
have it coming up.
Oh, is that the
really?
one in the story here?
Yeah.
That's perfect. I haven't watched it yet, but I saw the headline just said woman crying about getting farted on.
Well, let's get to the news then, shall we? All right. Oh, wait, hold on.
Listen, if getting farted on was something
I don't
to
know
cry
about getting
about, I'd
farted
retire.
on in the grocery store, but we have an article that
We have a similar story.
to
All right,
that.
well, I'm excited. Let's go to the news then, shall we? Let's just start off with that one. I don't mind. Let me see if I can find it here in my little list. Oh, here we go. T-Bone sent this in. A woman has claimed that she's been battling an infection for 7 years, which was brought on by her ex-boyfriend farting in her face. I think this is just a different fart story. Look at this lady's face. It looks like she just got a big stinky one on it. Christine Connell is a travel influencer. She shares many of her adventurous snaps with her 78,000 followers on Instagram, going anywhere from hot sandy beaches to snowy mountains that she's climbed. A lot of people would kill to have those same experiences, but it turns out that throughout all her journeys, she's been battling a number of health issues. Boy, oh boys. I thought they were going to say, like, this woman has climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. She has been through the Sahara Desert, and she has been infected by one fart from her boyfriend.
Nothing but farts in her oxygen mask.
Yeah, or that's how she gets around. The American online personality thinks it all goes back to passing action that took place in a hotel room 7 years ago. Boy, oh boy, what was this guy eating? 7 years ago, a fart is affecting that much. Speaking in a TikTok, she spoke about her ex-boyfriend and how he got the ultimate breakup revenge on her. All right, let's listen to her talk.
Today I realized that I think my ex-boyfriend got the best possible breakup revenge that anyone could ever get. We dated like 7 years ago. I've had a persistent sinus infection ever since he and I stayed in a hotel one night after I had surgery. And he farted terribly. Like, I couldn't breathe. I've never, ever, ever smelled anything that even compares to that. And I got my sinus infection cultured today. I've gotten it imaged. I've had all of these tests done. Doctors haven't been able to figure it out. And it is E. coli. And usually don't get E. coli in your sinuses because E. coli is from poop. So I don't know. How does that get in your sinuses unless you have a boyfriend who farts disgustingly and you are forced to inhale it because you are immobile after ankle surgery?
Why would you publicize this?
Yeah, this is worse than the last lady putting her kids on it. No, but also so these shit particles lived in your sinuses for 7 years?
Sounds physically impossible, no?
Yeah, wouldn't it die out? If that's the case, we all have shit particles in our sinuses.
Well, you ever seen the Mythbusters episode of that?
No.
Oh my God. They put whatever, like a toothbrush and a bunch of other things around a bathroom, and they just let their staff use the bathroom regularly for a week or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then they tested everything afterwards to see whatever, if they test, and it showed up purple, that was poo particles. And then they learned that everything in the building had poo particles all over it.
Yeah, when you flush a toilet, it just goes out.
But not even that. So they did the bathroom, and then they tried to do a control test of the shop. And then there's poo particles all over everything in the shop as well.
Oh my God.
So then they just learned that poo particles are literally everywhere. So there was nothing.
Yeah, if you start thinking about that, you're just going to, and this lady's a travel blogger. Who the fuck knows where she's going, where there could be even more poo particles than the average bear.
And she looks
also, what are you farting like, lady? Maybe it's you. Maybe you're making the poo particles. Did this guy literally just fart in her face, shove her face in it?
Well, she said she was just in the room and it smelled bad.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So they traveled to your fucking nose. Wouldn't you then have poo particles in your vagina, in your ears, in your,
Well, technically, if you smell something, mm-hmm. the particles of that thing are in your nose, right?
I guess.
So if you smell a fart, the particles out of that person's asshole are in your sinuses.
Huh.
Yeah, but wouldn't those particles be all over your body?
For sure. Yeah. Totally.
Wouldn't they be in her eyes then?
Yeah.
And everything else?
For sure. And coming from a guy that eats as much ass as I do,
exactly.
This doesn't sound reasonable.
No, this sounds insane, right? You're if that's the case, you should be in a fucking bubble somewhere. Yeah, exactly. You'd be dead right now if that's all it took to get some poo particles in your sinuses.
Maybe she worked for the Mythbusters crew.
I don't know. Maybe she's
just the Mythbusters crew is the worst.
Maybe she's just filthy. I don't know. But here's the other question that I had about it. I don't know. I mean, for her to sit there and be 7 years later, I have it. Oh, this what I was going to say. COVID was passed around, they say, from shitting too, because if you took a shit, it's in your shit, and then you flush the shit, it goes out the exhaust or what, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or it comes out the toilets or whatever.
Yeah. So you mean if you don't close the lid?
In an apartment complex
I
or
see
something.
what you mean.
The person shits, the aerosol part of it or whatever. So I don't remember. But anyhow, that is wild. I mean,
that girl definitely eats ass as well. You can tell.
Well, yeah, it's dude, what else were you doing that put you in this particular situation? That was from Lucas in Colorado who sent that in, I do believe. Was it? Or was it? No, that was T-Bone. Excuse me. Lucas from Colorado, though, has sent in so many articles this week at JoshPotterShow@gmail.com. This next one, just go straight down. This kid calls a lady Miss Piggy. Now, this lady doesn't have poo particles in her nose. I don't know who does. And then he gets slapped a lot. There's a video of this, I'd imagine. Oh, and then there's a news story. Look at this.
Yeah, I have a news story. I don't know about a video.
Oh, okay. This is on a plane, too. I mean, planes. Boy, oh boy. Last week we had an example. Next week we have an example.
I got to say,
keep coming.
The way the Americans treat planes
It's insane.
Compared to any other country.
You think that's an American thing?
100%. Because every other country is terrified of being on a no-fly list, and Americans don't give a fuck because they can still go to LA, they can still go to Florida, they can still go snowboarding. If you're if you're a Canadian and you get on a no-fly list, say goodbye to any nice weather in the winter. Like
that's true. But if you're an American, see, there's a lot of people who are unjustly on no-fly lists from other countries because their name is matching of a name that's on the no-fly. You know what I'm saying? It's Mohammed something or other.
Oh, I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, so that, I mean, when you go through, it's like, well, this name's coming up as a
Oh,
red
interesting.
flag. So yeah, I mean, they're just, you know, it's like, oh, it sucks my name's on a no-fly list because it matches this guy from Hamas or whatever, you know. But here in America, we have different type of no-fly lists. There are people, these people get put on no-fly lists. These people who are like drunk and acting insane.
Yeah.
But then they can't travel. They just can't go anywhere domestically either. So, I mean, but that's
horrible.
so funny to me that it's like, on one hand, it's like a terrorist watch list, and ours, you don't like look up like Catherine something or other and go like, is she a terrorist? No, she got too drunk and like got naked on a Southwest flight. Yeah. Let's watch the news video.
Christy Lee Crampton was set to be back home from her family's Disney World vacation.
Cramden.
Instead, she
Disney
made her
World
first
makes
appearance
sense.
in front of a Seminole County judge Tuesday, charged with felony child abuse.
Pause it for me for a second. She just had a whole stint in Disney World. Yeah, she wants to slap a kid around a little bit. I mean, she just dealt with them all running around. They're screaming and yelling. It's like she's on her last nerve. Now this kid calls her Miss Piggy. Yeah.
Release
She's going to fucking snap. She's finally out of there.
Release her.
Yeah. That's Your Honor. This is the defense I would give her. Go ahead.
Hagerstown, Maryland was set to take off from
Allegiant
Orlando
Air,
Sanford
gross.
International Airport just before 2 p.m. Monday. But according to this arrest report, Crampton and witnesses on the plane tell police the child called Crampton fat and Miss Piggy, telling her she
That's
couldn't
just funny
fit in
stuff.
the airplane seat. That's when witnesses say Crampton began hitting the child with her fist and then hit him on the head with a water bottle. Then the report says she slammed the child's head into the airplane window.
It's like a
The
Three
child used his
Stooges
arms
fucking
to cover his
skit.
head. Airport police haven't said how old the child is,
Oh.
but Crampton told police the child was very rude and disrespectful during their trip to Disney, and that after the child called her fat, she took his phone away. She claims he then pushed her arm off the armrest twice, and that's when she began smacking him.
Wait, is it
But
her
police
kid?
and
Well,
witnesses
that's what
say
I wanted to figure out here because, well, it was part of her family.
Oh, okay.
It
So
wasn't
it's like a
her
niece or nephew or
child,
something.
But it was. They don't say because maybe to protect the identity of the kid or whatever. But it doesn't say whose kid it is. But it does say that I guess she knows in her head.
She's definitely close with said kid.
Yeah, she's like, we just spent all this fucking money on this trip to Disney World, and now you're gonna call me a fat pig? And then she just fucking snapped. Made like you said, a Three Stooges video about him. Oh my God! Witnesses told police that the boy in the family was misbehaving on the plane and leading her to slap him in the face, slam his head into the window. That part's funny to me, just bouncing his fucking head off the window. One passenger described the scene like this. The woman was not correcting the child. She was abusing him, whipping the shit out of the kid. Oh my God. I feel like, I'm trying to remember if my mom like publicly smacked me anywhere. I don't think she has.
My mom used to beat the fucking
Same,
wheels
but
off
it
me.
was I feel like it was the same, but I feel like it was behind closed doors. Like, I don't think she would. I can't remember if I've maybe gotten like a backhand or something like in public. Back then, they wouldn't care though. Would you? Back in the 80s, they'd probably turn their heads if they saw a kid get smacked. You think they would turn their heads if they saw this lady bouncing her kid's head off the window though?
Yeah.
Probably.
People used
right?
to
A little
mind their
bit.
business.
People used to mind their business. That's a great point. When does it get to a level of like stepping in? Like maybe they'd go like, "Hey, that's enough."
3 bounces? Yeah, three bounces.
yeah.
Just kind of be like, all right, you got
Because
it.
it sounded like she punched him in the head a couple times, then hit him with a water bottle. They don't say empty or full. Empty's just for fun. I mean, that's fun stuff. But like bouncing his head off that plastic window, the sound that must have made. But also, this kid's like, "You're fat, Miss Piggy." She's saying you couldn't even fit in the fucking seat is hilarious.
I mean, to be fair, guarantee that kid is going to be less of a bully moving forward.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe, or is he going to be more of a bully and be like, "You're not as big as my Aunt Christy."
Yeah, he's fearless now. That
It's like it's going to make him more of a bully because he's like, I got to assert power because my Aunt Christy smashed my face into an airplane window.
I'm a firm believer in there's a healthy amount of hitting children.
Sure. I mean, do whatever you got to do out there, folks. But this lady, I mean, this is going to at least make Thanksgiving awkward when she comes over. She got arrested. I mean, she was out on 3rd-degree felony in Florida. I mean, crazy. Now she's got to come and be like, you just at graduation, it's like, "Hey, Aunt Christy, remember when you smashed my face into an airplane window?" That was what a time, right?
He's like, "Hey, Aunt Christy, going up for seconds?"
We are family. Oh, we've been through ups and downs. Remember that time you smashed my face into an airplane window and you got a 3rd-degree felony charge? Oh, memories, right?
You still on parole?
Oh, my God. We have a video of this. A racist yearbook publication. This is on TikTok. This has been making the rounds on the TikTok.
Parents at an East Bay Elementary are having some difficult conversations with their children tonight after a very racist expression wound up in the school's yearbook.
Yeah, a PTA member says it was a mistake, but that explanation is not getting a positive reaction from parents.
ABC 7 News I-Team reporter Dan Noyes has exclusive information on how this happened and what comes next.
The joy of kids heading off for summer vacation from Oakland's Montclair Elementary has been interrupted by a very racist entry in the school yearbook, Otter Magic.
I was mad. I was very upset.
Like, what the?
I was very upset.
What the hell is this?
Pause it for me for a second. With the theme. Why did they start with the white woman there? That was interesting. They're like, she's like, I was upset, and then they turn and they show a black lady, and she's like, it looks like the woman is like got a gun to her head, be like, no, I was upset too. I was really upset. So I can't wait to see what this is. Evidently, everyone's up in arms. How blatant could it be? It's in the yearbook, for God's sake. Let's see.
Theme of celebrating 100 years, parent volunteers on the yearbook included some old articles about the school from the Montclarian newspaper. This one from 1940 discussed the annual carnival. Quote, Boy and Girl Scouts will have charge of booths and many attractions, such as N-word babies. Beyond it.
Oh, that's a cookie, right? Or licorice or something.
Oh, yeah, was it candy?
Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine? You're just like, oh, I found all this 100-year-old articles. Look at this. This is from 1,000,000 years ago. And you don't even think that's going to be in there. And you're just putting the articles in there.
Yeah, I thought, but I think that was what a candy or a cookie or something was called. The search history on this computer is wild.
You don't want to do this one? I was going to say that. Let's see if
you're going to be on a no-fly list.
You got to type in food or something. Christ. You got to type in food after it. It's all research, Lee.
Candy. Oh, yeah, licorice. I was right.
Yeah.
Give me a Google image of what these. There's black licorice.
I think it was.
When there was the little baby ones, the little ones like that.
I think it was like little, almost like little,
man,
like the size of like gummies.
They used to. I mean, boy, oh boy, that word, the word that Glenn was saying earlier, that word has been appropriated by a lot of foods over the years. Because I could have swore my grandfather called something feet, N-word feet. Or something. Google that. No, I'm just kidding.
I've never heard that.
It was like they were, I don't fucking know. It was actually gross food. It was like in a can. I can't remember what the fuck it was. Someone in the comments will yell at me and remind me.
It looks like it's
or toes, maybe toes. They were apricots, something like that.
Licorice. It says it.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that's what we figured out.
Shoelaces and N-word.
It says down there, licorice babies, but we're called a little something different. So is there any more of that video? Let's see what the outcry is. Also, how big was that in there? Who's reading all of those things at the end of the day?
Obviously, oh my God.
Licorice drops.
Oh, there you go. Boom.
What the fuck graphic
Did that just come up as a targeted ad all of a sudden after the Google search?
Targeted ad on your work computer?
That one changed the word a little bit. It said little African licorice or something like that.
Oh, my God.
And then it was just the blackest baby in the world. That was
Exposing their kids to the N-word, parents scrambled to find out what was that game. And this is an authentic photograph of the game from a Wisconsin summer camp brochure from 1942.
It was very inappropriate. Very inappropriate.
In reaction to the uproar, Montclair Elementary Principal David Cloker invited parents last Friday for a circle about racial equity and acknowledged racial hostility felt by some families and students at the school.
Today we are leading a restorative justice circle so that we've invited the community out so we can hear their voices and how this event made them feel.
Principal David Cloker wouldn't let us attend the meeting to hear the parents' concerns.
Yeah, I'd say that'd be bad.
To be interviewed. Principal Cloker sent this email apologizing, calling the clipping deeply hurtful and entirely unacceptable. He told parents to just remove that page from the yearbook or use a sticker provided by the school to cover it up.
Pause it for a second. Imagine being your kids on the other side of that sheet. You turn the sheet over, because you can cut it out. And then you're like, well, that's my fucking picture on the other side. That'd be wild. But they weren't even talking about licorice in this case. Turns out they were talking about a game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess why not just be like, yeah, this is how racist we were back in the 80 years ago. Just like bring it up in that way. Yeah, a teaching moment, exactly. With kindness, the PTA historian. Oh, boy. But yes, you can get a sticker to put on it. I would just leave it. I'd be like, remember when? Pull out that yearbook. You go, you never guess what our yearbook printed back in the day.
I kind of feel the same way with like the old like Disney stuff and stuff like that. It's like, it's much better, in my opinion, to use it as like, hey, this was an issue we've rectified, but this is what it used to be like. Like, I think erasing history makes no sense personally.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I mean, I just went to Disney World last year with my family. I didn't bash any kids' faces into the window, thank God, but I went down the Splash Mountain. It's totally different. I don't even know what it is now, but guess what? They changed it to a movie that seems more racist to me. I don't know what the movie is. But it's like, this is less racist. The other one had like a bear and I get the connotations like once you read about it, but upon visual seeing things, you're like, oh, this is just like a bear and a rabbit chasing each other around. Now they've changed it to, what is it?
Tatiana's Bayou Adventure.
Doesn't that sound more racist? A bayou adventure, and I don't know. You go inside and you're like, this seems...
We don't have bayous in Canada. You'll have to update me.
It's like Louisiana, like down on the bayou. Like, it's all like... and then you go in there and you're like, this seems a little more stereotypical than...
I think I only know bayou from Waterboy.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly right.
Okay.
But, yeah, no, I mean, it just... I remember going in there and going like, this is a little more on the nose, seemingly, than the other one that we had before, when it was like Brer Rabbit and Brer Bear, whatever the hell it was. They just sang Zippity Doo Dah or whatever. But anyhow, oh my goodness, what a hell of a show. I can't believe it already. I just looked at the clock and it already flew by so fast. Is there anything you want to plug? I should have asked you up front there.
Just go to thefleshmechanic.com and
hell yeah,
defile your soul with all the fun things I get up to.
Oh my goodness. Can't wait to catch you later in my scroll. Oh, look who it is. Just had him on the show.
I'll get you a free subscription so you can dive right into it.
Hell yeah. Oh boy. Well, for me, folks, you can go check out thejoshpotter.com. If you want to see my penis, hey, let me know. Hit me up on the email.
Let me stunt cock for you.
Dude, I've done that. Have I told? I should have said that in the show.
What?
I've been a stunt cock twice.
No fucking way.
It was little amateur stuff, but before they made you have I think the girls ended up taking it down because I didn't sign a thing, and now they get on them for that.
Yeah. The game has changed.
I don't even know if they do OnlyFans anymore, these girls. But yeah, I got to be on there. I felt like a real star. I felt like a real...
That's pretty cool.
It's because I couldn't come. They knew right away. They're like, it'll be as long as I need it to be, and that'll be the end of it. We could do a couple different things. We had a whole shoot, me and a girl. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
I felt like a real star.
You're a fellow SW.
Yes.
That's great.
My one day on the set, if you will.
The Sex Worker Podcast.
You won't find that at the JoshPotter.com unless you really want it. But you will find tickets to Chicago July 13th. You'll find tickets to Janesville, Wisconsin in August. And then September and October, so many shows coming up. Oh my goodness. Go buy all the tickets, friends. And if there is a city that you'd like me to come to, go to the website and let me know. Get in the email list and you'll find out first before everyone else. Speaking of emails, JoshPotterShow@gmail.com. That's where you can send in your articles like so many Roach reporters did today. Thank you so much. Thank you to Lee. Thank you to Alex. Thank you to Bobby, everyone here at the Comedy Store. And of course, thank you again to my guest here, Mr. Flesh Mechanic.
Thanks for having me, boss.
Oh, it was so much fun. I hope we get to have you back sometime.
Anytime. We got to get you in Canada.
That's another story. We'll save for another time.
No fly list.
Yeah, exactly. But we will talk to you next Wednesday here on the Josh Potter Show. Maddie Smith will be with me. Goodbye.
Coming to 11 direct with the Roach. We shotgun the beers, I got time for a toast. It's the only place I get my sports like for real, son. He taught us nobody's more sus than Russell Wilson.
Here's the deal, son. Won't find us in Walmart. Josh Potter, keep it frank, kinda like a ballpark. It wasn't nothing talking all that jism. Turns out there's a lot of semen terrorism.
Now it's time we hit him. Bringing Votto to the plate. Roachy, your awards with Chase O'Donnell the Great. Let me stop for a second, cause it's Ask Marty time. Cause it's idiocy, you know I cannot abide.
Not a fan of these guys, gonna damage the rise. Worse than the host known as the Roach. Leave an idiot woman standing on the side, or looking like she just tripped into a moat.
I'ma kill this Henny beat like murder. Been in more studios than most have ever heard of. Pleased to be listening, hit that like and subscribe. So many bills, hats got the mafia vibe.
A lot to describe like a roach reporter. Teacher on OF, don't report her. Trying to live life with my mannequin wife and my mannequin kids, if that's my mannequin right.
Been a fan of this guy since the Roach Motel. Couple 100 weeks in, still funny as hell. From the tit cups to back sis and blind eyes, Potter has one of the best shows of all time.
Now watch this drive. Pop a couple tall cans with the Roach King and caught the vibe. Ready to pour more, scurry out the floorboards, hit like, comment, and subscribe.